Hey folks, this is Mike coming at you with another little, video for the Julie Flynn Strong page. If you haven't checked us out or if you haven't seen us, this is a channel that my wife wanted, dedicated to her and her memory. So her three boys could rewatch whenever they want. A library of awesome, well, a library of videos. I wouldn't say awesome. Of dad and mom. And we got a few of mom on here. If you want to go back and check out our earliest videos, you'll get a good idea as to who my wife was, how she sounded, how she looked, how lovely she was. And you'll have a bunch of episodes with Graydon, our youngest, as my little co-host. But rearranged my desk today. Had to do something to be productive. Put it in a different spot. We'll see how it works out for us. Hope you can hear me and see me half okay. I'm using my laptop device for camera, so it's probably not going to be the best footage. But anyway, how's it going, folks? It's been a weekend. February's here for all of you folks who are looking forward to spring. Unfortunately, Poxitani Phil did see a shadow, but there's another groundhog. Is it Chuck? I forget his name, but he didn't see his shadow. And that other groundhog is like 85% accurate. Like he's pretty right on. And Puxatawny Phil's like Bertle. He's like 40%. So forget him. Let's go with an early spring, right? Especially for all those folks in California with the fires. And I'd like to mention this just to keep them on the forefront of our minds and our hearts. California and LA, of course, and then North Carolina. I know it's been several months, but you folks are not lost on me at all. Just the devastation. Things just slowly now coming back in terms of power and normalcy, maybe, and some building and cleaning up. So, in any event, yeah. Now we've got the two plane crashes that have happened in DC and in Philly. Just so sad, whether it's just negligence or not, I don't want to say cockiness, but you know how you do things 1,000,001 times and you might miss a step or two in human error, and it's a costly mistake, but we as humans do make mistakes. So blessings in my heart, and my thoughts do go to all of those precious lives, no matter who they were, in those two airplane accidents. So not a big deep dive today to go through, but went to church on Sunday. Some of us still do that, right? I hope you do. I really do. Hopefully you can find a good Bible-based church full of not a church that makes you feel good. I don't want you to go to a church that makes you feel horrible, but we're sinners, so you're not supposed to feel too good about yourself. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Mental health is nice. Affirmations are great, but we're sinners, and that's the whole point of church. Not going to have your ears tickled and make you feel good when you know you're living maybe not the right life. Okay, so that aside, went to a great church service and prayed for a couple people in that church. We were guests, not very far away, and prayed for some folks who had been miraculously healed through prayer and faith. And God heard those prayers, and God decided to help those folks. And only because I've come so far in my grieving process. 4 or 5 months ago, I probably couldn't handle this service. I would have gotten up and left, flat out. I would have just left. Wouldn't have been mad, right? I wouldn't be rude, but I'd get up and leave. I just wasn't ready to hear it then, or before then, or even all last year when Julie was with us. We don't know God's timing. We don't know God's reasons, of course. why he heals some and not others. And that's kind of what this was about. So I tried to just listen, keep an open heart. And I just kept asking God, what do you want me to learn from this? Because I'm not digging this at all. But I'll be chill. I'll listen. I will. I'm laughing and I'm shaking my head because I was just like, this is too much. Too much. So anyway, the sermon was lovely. It was profound, but it was very concise and very compassionate. And we should be, as a church, blessed when we see a blessing and not be afraid to acknowledge that, even if it's not our blessing, even if it's not the one we wanted, but it might have been Susie Q down the road, right? It might have been Chuck down the lane. Maybe he got healed. But why not my wife, right? Why not my family? Like, let's get real. Let's, brass tacks. Let's get to it. That's what old folks used to say, right? But I don't really go there because me and Julie were mature enough in our faith, in our walk, and you might need to adopt this too. By the way, if you're jaded or if you're upset with the Lord, you got to humble yourself because it's not about you. It feels like it's all about you or your wife or your spouse, but it's not. It's about Him. And when He chooses to heal, that is to be recognized and acknowledged by the people, so that one of them, if not a multitude, will come to the Lord in faith through that miraculous healing. And to the ones He doesn't, maybe that was meant for me. Am I saying God took my wife to teach me a lesson? No. But in the sadness, in this loss, could He make good come from it? That's it right there. Absolutely, He can. Now, some of you might say, well, you're a believer. You're a strong Christian. You know what? That might be true a lot of the time, but I wrestle with things, not with faith, but I still wrestle with sin and certain choices in life. I'm not perfect by any stretch, any. So who knows what kind of work? It wasn't so much a salvation work with me, but again, my kids, teaching them a young lesson that life can be hard. And in that hardness, in that pain, in that suffering, in that loss, there can still be beauty. Maybe not through that same avenue of having lost your mom, but other things. You can still have good Christmases or birthdays. You can still have a good school year. You can still look forward to that first date down the road. You might, it's a little young, of course, now, being that they're only 13 and 16, but and they might not admit this to me. I would have at their age, because I was a helpless romantic, I was a bit of a dork. Romanticize about getting married one day and having kids. Those are going to be great days. And it's okay to have those. You're not betraying the memory of your lost loved one by admitting that you're excited for the future. And you're boldly proclaiming that, yeah, you know what? I'm ticked. I'm pissed. I'm hurt. But that aside, I'm still looking forward to A, B, and C, whatever those might be for you. There's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, I find myself longing for those things and leaning on those things. And I was before Julie was even diagnosed, just in my later 40s, going through some depression, mild depression, nothing severe, but still some depression, like most of us all do, right? You look forward to that birthday or that trip you're all going to, or Christmas, whatever it might be, and that's okay. That's what gets you through. That's okay. That can be healthy. So the sermon was just it was profound and it hit me. But it was nice to have gone through some healing, to not have any qualms whatsoever, just knowing that I've come a long way. And I probably still have a long way to go in terms of healing and whatnot. But it was good to see some folks. I had one gentleman stop me afterwards and recognize me because an older gentleman, he knows our family situation, just wanted to talk to me. I don't remember the last time I've had that. We moved from Florida, so where we're at, I don't really have any friends. It sounds so sad and pathetic, but maybe that's me. And as outgoing as I am, people think, oh, Mike, you're popular. Oh, you got a lot of friends. Oh, you'd be surprised. And that's what makes losing your best friend so much harder, because you got each other at least. And that's not anything to sneeze at. That's a lot, folks. Having that intimate best friend, partner, true partner. Hey, how are you today? How was it? How was work? Any drama? No? Good. Traffic Birtle, I'm assuming. It's Florida. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the beach like you are, but do you want to go Saturday morning? Yeah, we can go. As long as we're not there for more than an hour and we get there early, like 8 or 9 a.m. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, let's go. And then we could get something to eat afterwards. Awesome. It's a date. Give her a little wink. Those are the kind of little quick discussions we'd have in the kitchen, or I miss those things. Like, I miss them in a way that it makes your body hurt. And I know it won't go away. And that's why I know future dating can occur with me as long as it's wise and it's slow and it's deliberate, because that hole won't be so much filled, and it shouldn't be filled by another person because that's not fair to them, right? But outside of that hole, other things that can be filled, like a companion, a partner, a friend, those things I can continue cold turkey, straight away with someone else and go forward with them. Start fresh. Not compare, not nothing. No, whole new thing. And I got to make myself available to them, and I know I'm ready to do that. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm not in any hurry. I'm not going to rush it just to be with somebody or just to be in a relationship. That's a huge turnoff. No, that's not what I'm looking for at all. Nope, not at all. And there is something romantic about being the single stay-at-home dad who takes care of his boys, but I'm not that noble. That might happen, and if it does, it just does. Not looking to settle. I'm not just in love with being in love. I want to be loved, and I want to offer love. But there's a lot that goes into that, a lot. And I don't need to date for 2 years with any one person to know if that person is the next one, right? Not doing that. I'm not dating for 2, 3 years for a big maybe. No, it's not my style. I just don't need that. So there's a lot of little intricacies that have to fit in there where that woman says, I do. And I say, absolutely, I do. So we're not rushing that. And the boys know it. The boys they've been extremely supportive with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good week. We're trying to be positive. We're getting our taxes back here this next week or so, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Praying that comes in quickly. We could use it. This tax return is not nearly as lucrative, I guess you could say, as last year's. So that was definitely a gut punch to me. That hurt my heart for several days last week when I got that filed. But is it, do I owe? Of course not. I've got kids. I got dependents. But I was hoping to do some stuff with the boys that we normally couldn't do. We don't have the money to do it. So I was hoping to do something special with them. One of two different things. I might get into those later. But those things probably aren't going to happen. But still blessed, and we're just seeing these boys grow almost like every week. I see like a little difference in the jawline, right? a couple years ago with Grant and Gabe, it was not the Adam's apple as much as just the voice. They got beautiful, strong, deep voices. They really do. Makes my heart just full. Like they fill it up. They're adorable because they don't know that to me, like 6 months ago, they sounded like little chipmunks, right? That little helium voice, that little high pitched New York Bronx accent when they can't pronounce their words proper, but you know what they're saying. Too cute, way too cute. So I love it when they bounce down the staircase, which is right over here. Hey, Dad, what's up? Hey, did you know blah blah blah? I'm like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I did know that. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? Whatever it is. And then I'll say, you know what? I had a deep thought about such and such. Oh, wait, I had that thought back in 2002 before you were alive. Because they don't realize you get a full life, full on everyday, mundane life, whatever it would have been. And they weren't even a thought. They weren't even a glimmer in your eye as a dad, right? So they think that's wild. And it is. I get that, having been a kid myself, obviously a child of a dad I loved. It's hard for us to picture them as 25-year-olds having a good time, going on a date, rizzing up the ladies, as I picture my dad doing in his youth, which is what the kids say today. So I might mention that to the boys tomorrow. Hey boys, I did a video and I talked about how Grandpa might have rizzed up a nice young lady back in the 60s or 50s or whatever before he got married to mom or my mom, and they'll laugh because they know Grandpa Papa Flynn well before he passed away. And they'll say, Grandpa rizzed up someone? I'm like, well, that's what you guys would call it. Flirting. Big time. Yeah. So I get them cracking up because you know what they would do. They'd be like, what? No. I've been with Nana since. No. He went through a marriage and a whole life of love of 17 years with my mother before they split at 17 years of marriage. And a whole life together. And 4 babies. That's a lot. That's a whole other love story. So anyway, it's been a good early start to this week. I'm looking for more things to do this week. That I got a couple things to keep myself productive. These staircases still killing me. I haven't gotten better. This statin drug I'm on, atorvastatin, I think a third of America is on it. So they're obviously trying to do this with half of the stuff I'm taking. I'm a firm believer half of all the medicine I'm taking is going to make me extremely sick within 5 years. So the alternative is to change your lifestyle and get off it. But you got to change your lifestyle, and I got to get my numbers and my blood pressure and my sugar. I got to get a lot of stuff down before they even will let me do that. You can't just go off it. So anyway, I'm looking forward to some of that stuff this week. Seeing a positive change in that reaction, and it also helps a bit with the biology and the chemistry of what's going on in my brain with my diet, plus the grief, right? We've talked about that a little bit. So I'm very optimistic. I really am. And it's nice. It's nice to be in that mind space. That's a good phrase. So looking forward to that. And time to put on my embarrassing readers. But I can see the screen half decent. But just know that we're thinking about some of you folks out there. Make a nice comment for us if you could, if you'd be willing to. Whether you've said hi to us a million times in the past or if you've never commented. Comment, let us know what you think. Hope you'll join this humble, cheesy little channel that's not the most entertaining, but help us grow. So we hope you have a great week. Stay positive if you can. Surround yourself by positive people. And if you can get into a Bible-based church, just my opinion, you don't have to. I'm not your priest. I'm definitely not your pastor. I'm not your doctor at all. I'm just a friend. I'm just a dude. Just a dude who loves Michigan football. Go blue. I don't even know where that came from. I think I've kept that under wraps for so long or so worried what people think. Why? It's not going to affect my income, right? So go blue, go to church, and take care of yourself. Take good care of yourself. I'll be on here again. Won't be long. So have a lovely week and be blessed, okay? Love you.